Okay, hey, it's Hank the Handyman. Hey, I wanted to show you guys a quick video on how to fix a inflatable kayak, the inner tube on it. A lot of people say that it's impossible or nearly impossible to fix a hole or a leak on a seam. And I think I just got it accomplished to where I've got one fixed. So what I'm going to show you is if you had a hole in the seam like right here, which this had, and I'll show you in a minute where I fixed it. But let's say a seam down in here, a hole that's right in here. So what I did is I took some of this PVC glue that I picked up from West Marine for inflatable boats. Again, make sure that for your particular application, there's two different types. This happens to be the PVC type of glue. Again, got that, picked it up for about 17 bucks from West Marine. I've used this on other applications for my Saturn inflatable as well. Seems to work out good. And what I did the other day was I found that over in this area there was a hole, a leak. I just happened to buy and pick up this used kayak on Craigslist. Got a great deal on it. So I figured it'd be worth a gamble to go ahead and try to fix it. The gentleman that had it before had a patch right in here, and he put a patch in the seam. My recommendation is do not use a patch at all when it's in if it's tucked in the hole in the area, like right in here, like a pinhole. And so I repaired mine. It held. His is holding. And then what I wanted to do is make sure that between the holes that we had at least 2 inches past each hole, and in the middle that it would be sealed, so that to give a little bit of insurance. So I just did this the other day and let it stay overnight, because I kind of did it toward the end of the day. You want to at least have it clamped for pressure on it for 12 hours. And what I did is I simply had these paint sticks that you can pick up from either Home Depot or Lowe's for free. I put one on the front, and then I also, you can see here, it's on the back side. And then I clamped it to leave pressure on it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just simply take these off, because it's now been 12 hours. And I'm trying to hold the camera and do this with one hand. And these here are... So again, depending on, if you only had one hole, then I would be using paint sticks about 1/3 this size. Wouldn't have to go this long, but again, because there were 2 holes about 6 inches apart, I wanted to get a good gap in between there. Okay, right here, it's a little sticky. Okay, and it comes off. All right, so now you can see where I've glued it, and it's solid all along here. And this is where he had already glued it before I got it, but he had a patch in there. And the patch was one with fiber in it, and I would recommend not even using a patch in here. But the other thing is, if you do use a patch on this, don't use one that has fiber in it. Just use the regular PVC. A lot of times when you buy the boats, they come with the little patch kits, and use those. But his was holding anyway, but I wanted to reinforce it and lap it over. And that's got a real good lap now. And so that's sealed all the way past the 2 holes. This was hole number 2, and that was the one that he did. And I fixed this one the other day, and it's holding really well. And so now I've got it sealed about, well, I don't know, 4 inches on either side of it. And so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pump it up, and we'll see if that thing holds really well. Okay, so here it is. It's been full 24 hours. And after I put the tube back in, all the inside of its lining and inside the kayak, again, this is an Advanced Elements. It's been holding air very well. Right here is where the leaks were, and that's been holding up very firm still, a good solid 24 hours after the repair. So it does work. My recommendation again is to not use a patch. Use the actual tube itself as the patch, and follow the directions on your glue. You put it on, let it get tacky for a few minutes, and then you clamp and apply pressure again for 12 hours, and that seems to work. If you're working on a particular tube that doesn't have a good overlap where the seam is, like the advanced elements seem to have, then what you can do, as long as it's smooth enough, then you can use a small patch, but don't use the type of patch that has the fabric in it. Use strictly the rubber patch without any elements in it, no threads. And I think you have a good chance of fixing a seam leak. So again, most people say they can't fix them. This is clearly fixed. Had 2 holes in the seam. And again, by going a little bit longer on each ends past the actual holes, really sealed it up good. And the wife and I are ready to take this thing out and have a great time on the lake here. So again, good luck in your repairs, and don't be afraid to try some things with that. So again, this is Hank the Handyman.